SCCRESA TV presents in 3, 2, 1, Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
Well, this week on Dateline Schools, we're continuing our summer series of looking at the organizations and agencies that make up the support for our children here in the Blue Water area. And today we're visiting the Port Huron Museum, having a conversation with Museum Executive Director Susan Bennett. And Susan, as you walk through the Carnegie Center here, see all kinds of exhibits and things. Obviously, this is where you host most of those. But how do you determine what to put up and what exhibits to have?
Well, originally it would have started, our permanent exhibits are what's most prominent in our collection. So that makes that pretty easy. Although once in a while we feel like we need to update and we'll redo a room just to have something new. And our collection is extensive. And that's a story for another time. But we have a lot of different things. Traveling exhibits are really kind of the way we encourage new visitors and also to address our mission statement of things that are relevant in our community. Last year we had an exhibit about the Underground Railroad. And we had been on a list for 2 years to get that exhibit until it was available on the calendar, and that actually came from Welland, Ontario. So we can get exhibits from all different kinds of places. We're very fortunate to have a very creative and dedicated staff, and one of them actually is a professional museum fabricator. So we've had great success in the last couple of years creating our own exhibits, such as the Mysteries of the Blue Water, and then this fall we'll be launching the Storm of 1913 Remembered. And that's all going to be in-house, but that doesn't mean we can't have collaborators, and our collaborator in the case of 1913 is Cranbrook Institute of Science. So we're real proud. We've swapped artifacts for their exhibit, and they're going to give us some of theirs for ours, and that's how that all comes together.
Well, it takes all kinds of partnerships and things, but some long-term planning, doesn't it?
It really does. We like to have a calendar about 3 years out and know what's coming, and we like to change it a minimum of 4 times a year. So we're well into 2014 and 15 making our plans right now.
One of the things you mentioned, bringing in some of these international exhibits, is to bring new people to the museum. How many people come through your doors on an annual basis?
Usually, the Carnegie is anywhere between about 28 and 35,000 people a year. Contrast that with the depot and the lightship that are open only seasonally, and they're around the 10,000 mark. But the lighthouse, as you mentioned, our jewel, was quite a surprise. We had 15,000 visitors in 4 months when we opened last year. So I think that it tells a pretty strong story all the way from here to the lighthouse, and we're proud to be a part of it.
Back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry.